You are more bullish than them. Meanwhile, while we move on and we try and, get a handle on what took place post the markets with regards to the SEBI news that is likely to come by, where we do have, we do understand from our sources, and Yash has spoken about this, that the BSE or rather the NSE will now get Tuesday expiry, the SEBI circular, which is likely to come by. We'll just get, the confirmation on that. Yes, we do have Mr. Sriram Krishnan, who's the Chief Business Development Officer at NSE, joining in. Thanks a lot, sir, for joining in. First up, sources tell us that the SEBI has issued this circular already, not on the website yet, but can you confirm that you have gotten the SEBI nod indeed for Tuesday expiry?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry.
So, can you confirm whether you have gotten the nod from SEBI for Tuesday expiry?
I'm traveling right now, but, I can get back to you on this one. This is something that we had been waiting for, so it's quite possible. I'm outside the country right now.
Got that.
If you can give me a couple of minutes, maybe I can just check and come back to you.
Sure, our team will reach out to you in a couple of minutes as well. While, you do the confirmations from there, we're also awaiting the nod coming in from the SEBI's website. But Mr. Krishnan, were this to happen, and consider this has happened on Tuesday, what could be the increase in market share on options volumes? Because over the last few quarters, we've seen you see a decline in your market share. Could you quantify how much beneficial it would be when it comes to your market share?
So I think, it's important for us to understand what ecosystem wants to see from NSE. NSE has been a pioneer in equity derivatives, and, NSE contracts are deeply liquid and very preferred even now. Even now, if you see on a Tuesday or on a Monday or even Friday, when we don't have an expiry, for example, our market share is still in the high 80s, and which goes to show how much the product is traded. So I think in the overall interest of the ecosystem, we had sought feedback, and the feedback was overwhelmingly in favor of having expiry on Monday, which we proposed. But then, given that the consultation paper came in, SEBI had requested us to keep that on hold and instead go by the consultation paper and the thought process which is set out therein, which we did. And given that Tuesday was the next best, closer to Monday, and we also had strong feedback from our ecosystem players that Tuesday would be a good day, if not Monday, to go with. We chose to apply for permission to go with Tuesday. Assuming that has come through, it's great news, and I think the ecosystem will immensely benefit from NSE contracts having Tuesday expiry.
So how much would that increase in market share be? I just want you could quantify that. If you could just give us a number on that front as well. What would the increase be if you're still holding majority over there?
Well, if I have to take a guess, this is going to be a little significant, although it's, we don't really look at market share as such as a market infrastructure institution.
Right.
But I think, with 3 days before the expiry, the ecosystem market participants will trade heavily, and therefore it could have a positive impact for NSE in terms of market share if one were to calculate it strictly, assuming we were like a commercial organization. But like I said, we don't really look at market share as such in that manner.
Right.
But overall, I think it will be a significant positive.
There are two ways to look at it, Mr. Sriram Krishnan. One part is that had there been two exchanges doing the expiry on the same day, then obviously there would be that nudge for capital and that nudge for market share. But now this is moving from Thursday to Tuesday, while the other days are now open for the other exchange to keep their expiry. So you're getting your exclusive day for expiry. Just by virtue of moving from Thursday to Tuesday, what changes? I mean, why is it that there could be higher volumes on a Tuesday than Thursday when the days are exclusive?
No, it's not higher volumes on Tuesday versus Thursday. See, as you know, the premium tends to go down towards zero as you progress towards the expiry day. And therefore, it's what's important is where is the previous expiry in the week. So if the previous expiry in the week is Thursday, Friday onwards, people generally look at the next expiry that's coming up because premiums are going to be lower in that next expiry-oriented contract. And therefore, it's logical that a lot of action can be seen on Friday, Monday, and Tuesday on the NSE contracts, a bit more than what is currently seen. That's all I'm trying to say. This is just a logical analysis and a logical perspective.
Mr. Krishnan, thank you so much for getting connected to CNBC TV18. You spoke about how Tuesday becomes, beneficial versus Thursday in that sense, and that's the logical conclusion. But there were also reports which spoke about how about 20% of the volumes could move away from Sensex, if NSE indeed gets Tuesday as its expiry. Fair to assume that most of that volume could come to NSE, and could you speak about the trading volumes itself? As far as Tuesday expiry is concerned, what is the kind of share that you have alongside BSE on these days with, BSE having it on Tuesday and you having it on, of course, Thursday?
So if you see, the way the activity has been in the last many weeks, typically when it's our expiry day, we seem to have a market share of around 92 to 93% of the total premium on the expiry day. So it varies. Some days it's even 95, for example. If you even look at one day before the expiry day, we see similar market share even one day before the expiry day. If you look at even 2 days before the expiry day, typically it would be like this, assuming we have expiry on Tuesday. 2 days before expiry would be Friday, the previous Friday, which is just the first day of the new cycle for the exchange, which has the expiry on Thursday. So logically, 3 of the trading days would be beneficial to the exchange that has expiry on Tuesday. Again, this is pure logic, nothing else. And that's what we have seen as well play out in the last many weeks. And so if you flip it around and say that the NSE expiry is going to be on Tuesday henceforth, which is confirmed now, and if that's the case, then obviously this is a huge positive for NSE. And I think that's what the market ecosystem wanted to see, and we've received feedback in the past. We never changed our expiry day, although we had a chance to do so when the other exchange went from Friday to Tuesday. We never announced a change at that point in time. So the change that we wanted to make was to Monday. However, given the consultation paper and the developments post the consultation paper, we opted for Tuesday,
right.
Which was also a suggestion and which I think has now come through.
We take that point entirely, Mr. Sriram Krishnan. Thank you so much for joining us at a short notice on your overseas travel as well. But what we'll do is we'll leave you